What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BAMGPG. I'll be your host, Bryson.
And I'll be your co-host, Ben.
And today we're going to talk about the Combine results.
Yeah,
if you haven't already, like and subscribe, and go check out our TikTok, BAMGPG.
Yeah, Bryson, so the Combine wrapping up, so we have some of the final results to bring all of you guys. We'll run through those here in a second, but we're going to dive into it, and Bryson is working through an injury today. Decided to slam his finger in the front door. So he'll live through the episode with that one. No further ado, Bryson, we will go ahead and pull up the screen here. So first thing I wanted to go over, Bryson, is the 40-yard dash. So we'll quickly just go over maybe the top three at each position. So quarterbacks, he only had three that ran it for the quarterbacks. He got Brady Cook, Missouri, ran it in a 4.59. Tyler Shaw, quarterback Louisville, ran it in a 4.63. And Seth Hennigan, quarterback from Memphis, ran it in a 4.76. So not a lot of participation there. But Brady Cook, pretty respectable 4.59 at quarterback out of Missouri. Now running backs here. So you got Tootin, running back out of Virginia Tech, ran it in a 4.32. So Cook in there. Jaden Blue, running back out of Texas, ran it in a 4.38. Brashard Smith, running back out of SMU, ran it in a 4.39. And RJ Harvey, a running back from UCF, ran it in a 4.4. So want to scroll down here, take a look at our Iowa boy, see where he ended up running it at. So Caleb Johnson from Iowa ran it in a 4.57.
I expected him to go faster.
Yeah, I thought it might be a little bit quicker, but still pretty respectable at 4.57. Caleb Johnson, he really, his running style reminds me a lot of Josh Jacobs, real patient. He's shifty, but he's patient, right? He waits for the hole to open and he hits it. So he's not like a Jahmyr Gibbs, where he can just kind of overpower you with his speed. Real patient, real smart runner. Now, wide receivers, probably our quickest times here. So Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, played a lot of slot there. I think he's going to be a great slot receiver at the next level. He ran it in a 4.29. You got Dante Thornton Jr. from Tennessee, ran it in a 4.3.
Did Travis Hunter compete in this?
I don't think so. I don't think I have his on here. I think he may have done his own, but I don't think he attended the Combine. Shamir Dyke from Florida ran it in a 4.34. And Jalen Lane of Virginia Tech ran it in a 4.34. So pretty quick times out of the wide receiver group here. And we've covered the tight ends, so we'll just do a few here. Terrence Ferguson was your top tight end at a 4.63. Joshua Simon, tight end out of South Carolina, ran it in a 4.65. CJ Dupree from Alabama ran it in a 4.69. And then Gavin Bartholomew from Pittsburgh ran it in a 4.7. Offensive line, so the big boys. So he had some that broke 5. He had quite a few that broke 5. So you got Jared Wilson, a center out of Georgia, ran it in a 4.84. Armand Membu from Missouri ran it in a 4.91. Jonah Savlania ran it from Arizona, ran it in a 4.95.
I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Probably not. But Tate Ratledge, a guard from Georgia, ran at 4.97. So just a few from the offensive line there. And then our defensive end, so our edge rushers here, Bryce. I'll let you run through the first 5 here.
Yeah, do you want to go back to O-line?
Yeah, we can go back to the O-line here.
Who's the fourth best person to go past 5?
So it looked like Will Campbell would have been the cutoff for 5. Everyone beyond that would have been over 5. So Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU, ran it in a 4.98. And it looks like Ursray from Minnesota ran it in a 5.01, as well as Jackson Slater. So defensive ends here, Bryson. You want to run through the first 5 here?
Yeah, James Pierce Jr., 4.47. Colin Oliver, 4.56.
Fidel Diggs,
did 4.57. Shamir Stewart 4.59 and Jay Jonah 4.60.
Yeah, so I was pretty impressed with Shamir Stewart. So he's kind of an edge I'm keeping an eye on out of Texas A&M. You know, Green Bay's in the market for an edge rusher. He's one of those edges that, you know, his specialty is pass rush, right? He's not a great run defender, but he would certainly be a great addition to that pass rush. You know, Green Bay's certainly looking for that pass rush, you know, to kind of rotate in there with Van Ness, with Gary, and then I fully expect us to also address this position through free agency. At least I'm hoping that we do with like a Khalil Mack or, you know, via a trade for like a Max Crosby, somebody of that caliber. But I think we should also, in addition to that, because I mean, if you look at a Khalil Mack, he's, you know, 33, 34 years old. So he's up there in age. So you're going to want to draft young to bring a guy behind him and develop him. And we don't know what we have out of Van Ness yet, right? So year 2 was pretty disappointing out of him. Going into year 3, we'll see if, you know, we see him take that leap going into year 3. But, you know, we certainly didn't see that with his pass rush. I know all the games we attended this year, Bryson, I was uber impressed with his run defense. He's great at tracking down the ball. And he's a big body. He's a great run defender. We just didn't see that pass rush from him in year 2. So I'm hoping he can kind of take that leap in year 3. You know, but just to kind of hedge your bet a little bit, I would go young, and he's Shamar Stewart, certainly a guy I got my eye on as far as being a good pass rusher. So defensive tackle. So the big boys on the defensive line here. You got Ty Robinson, defensive tackle from Nebraska. He scored out well, all combine. Real impressive. He ran it in a 4.83. Jared Hunt from SMU, 4.86. And then you got Tyron Dawkins from Georgia, 4.86. And then Arenas Pebbles from Virginia Tech, 4.94. And Darius Alexander from Toledo. I think we've looked at him in a couple of our mock drafts, if I remember right. He ran it in a 4.95. So our linebackers here, Bryson.
Yeah. For 40-yard dash, we got Ian Madroon.
Kane Madrano. 4.46.
4.46. Eugene Asante.
Asante,
running
yep.
a 4.48. Jade Campbell running a 4.52. Danny Stuntman, 4.52. And Nick Martin, 4.53.
Yeah, some pretty respectable times out of the linebacker crew. I know we've looked at, I think, Jihad and Eugene Asante from Alabama in a couple of our mock drafts. Pretty impressed with them, especially on their run defense. And, you know, 4.48 and a 4.52 respectively. These guys can move around, you know, and have that should translate well to the next level as far as, you know, you're looking at your pass coverage out of the linebacker, and, you know, it certainly doesn't hurt in your run defense as well. So cornerback. So opposite of wide receiver here, we have Maxwell Harrison, cornerback from Kentucky, ran it in 4.28. Darian Porter, Iowa State boy. He scored out well in a lot of the combine drills here too. He ran it in a 4.30. You got Caleb Ranshaw, cornerback from Tulane, a 4.33. Jacob Parrish from K-State ran it in 4.35. And Zaw Frazier, Texas San Antonio, ran it in 4.36. And then our safeties, you got Marquise Sigel, 4.37. Nick Emenmori, a 4.38. Keaton Crawford from Nevada, a 4.41. Billy Ballman Jr. from Oklahoma with a 4.42. And Andrew Mukuba from Texas, a 4.45. So some pretty quick times at the combine as far as the 40. The other one I like to look at too is the verticals. It's kind of a fun one to look at here. So the top 2 quarterbacks were Brady Cook at a 37-inch and Tyler Shaw with a 32-inch. And the running back room, you got Tootin again from Virginia Tech with a 40.5-inch vertical, and DJ Giddens from K-State with a 39.5. And then the top 2 out of the receiving core, you got Sam Brown with a 41.5 and a Jalen Noel with a 41.5. Iowa State wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And tight ends here, Bryson.
Yeah. Terrence Ferguson, 39 inches. Joshua Simon at 38 inches.
Yeah.
Jalen Cornerbacks,
Conyers. Yep.
35.50. And Thomas Fadone the second, 35.50.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our big boys up front. You got Gray Zabel from North Dakota State, 36.5 inch. Jalen Travis, offensive tackle from Iowa State. So you got some Iowa State boys here on the leaderboard at 35 inches. And Josh Connerly Jr. from Oregon, 34.5. So moving to our edge rushers here, Landon Jackson. I know we've all seen his video slapping the bags there. I believe it was, probably pre-college ball. Certainly improved on that here in the combine. But he had a 40.5 inch. Shamar Stewart, again, the edge we're kind of keeping an eye on. He had a 40-inch vertical. Colin Oliver, Oklahoma State, 39. And Princely Umamelan, Mississippi. I probably slaughtered that one as well with a 38-inch. Big boys on the D line. You got Tyrone Dawkins, 36-inch. Javari Ritzy, 35.5. Zeke Biggers with a 34.5. And Ty Robinson, a guy that's, been on the leaderboards in most of the drills here from Nebraska with a 33.5-inch vertical. And then our linebackers here, Bryson.
Yeah. Teddy Bonchon, 40 inches. Tilson Swingwencher, 39.5. Not 39.5. 39.50. Jeffrey Bassa, 38.50. And Nick Martin, 38.
38. And then our cornerbacks here. You got Caleb Ranshaw from Tulane with a 40-inch. Maxwell Harrison with 39.5. Jason Marshall Jr. with a 37.5. And Jacob Parrish, again, from K-State with a 37.5. And then our safeties, Nick Imamwari, 43-inch vertical from South Carolina. Kyton Crawford, Nevada, 41.5. RJ Mickens, 41.5. And Marquise Sigel, 38-inch vertical. So our top times at the combine here for the 40-yard dash, our top 5 are Maxwell Harrison, cornerback from Kentucky, running a 4.28, pretty impressive. Wide receiver, Matthew Golden from Texas with a 4.29. And then Iowa State guy, cornerback, Darian Porter, 4.30. Dante Thornton Jr., wide receiver from Tennessee, ran a 4.30. And you got Bishal Tootin from Virginia Tech, running back, a 4.32. So pretty quick times on the 40 this year. And then just quickly here on the bench, no quarterbacks did the bench. So I'll just do the top 2 for each category. Top 3. So Donovan Edwards, running back from Michigan, had 23 reps. Jarquez Hunter, 21 reps. And Corey Kiner, 19. Wide receivers, you got Jalen Noe, Iowa State boy, on the board again, 23 reps. Jake Beck, 19 reps. And Xavier Restrepo with 17 reps.
We've talked about him.
Yeah, he's been on the board quite a bit too. So you want to run through the top 3 here at tight end, Bryson?
Yeah. CJ Dipple, 32 reps. Robbie out, 26 reps. Elijah Noel, I don't know how to pronounce his name. 22 reps. And Harold Fannin Jr., 22 reps.
22 reps. So our big boys don't have anything for the O-line to report. And defensive edge, so our edge rushers here. So Ethan Downs, 32 reps. Mike Green from Marshall. Like him a lot. I have him kind of on my big board as the number 2 defensive end coming out of this year's draft class with 28 reps. Sean Martin, 28 reps. And Baron Sorrell, 28 reps. So our big boys on...
Obviously, 21 Abdul Carter First in the draft, Abdul Calder.
Yeah, absolutely. Abdul Carter, I have him at the top of our boards as far as edge rushers. He's absolutely going to be a top 10 pick. Just outside of him, I have Mike Green. I like Mike Green a lot. I just think Abdul Carter is probably the most NFL-ready edge rusher in this year's draft class. So, D tackles, Jordan Phillips, Maryland, 29 reps. Darius Alexander, 28 reps. Eric Gregory, 28. And Ty Robinson, again from Nebraska, 28 reps. Linebackers, Teddy Buchanan, 26 reps. Rick Martin, 26 reps. And Demetrius Knight with 22 reps. So our corners, Upton Stout with 21 reps. Noel Williams, 19 reps. Caleb Ranshaw, cornerback from Tulane with 16 reps. And then our safeties here, again, Nick Emamori on the board again. South Carolina, 20 reps. Jalen Reed, 19 reps. Keaton Crawford, 18 reps. And Billy Ballman Jr. with 17 reps. So our top benches here in the draft are C.J. Dupree, a tight end from Alabama with 32 reps. Ethan Downs, edge rusher from Oklahoma, 32 reps. Jordan Phillips, a D tackle with 29 reps. And Darius Alexander, D tackle from Toledo, 28 reps, as well as Mike Green, the edge from Marshall that we like a lot with 28 reps. So those are our updates here on the NFL Combine, Bryson. So these don't necessarily, when you were looking at the Combine drills, right, Bryson, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate well onto an NFL field. What this does is it helps the scouts and GMs paint a picture of the player, right? So they see a player on tape. He's fast. He's explosive. He seems to, have a good vertical on tape, right? He can go up and high point the ball. They're able to test that at the combine, just kind of check the box. Yeah, we saw it on tape. Yes, we saw it, physically at these combine drills too, right? So it really kind of helps paint the picture of the player. You have what you have on tape, and then you also have to back it up what you have at the combine there as well. So they're fun to go through, and it certainly helps paint the picture of the player. It helps them, what they're seeing on tape versus what they're seeing at the combine. So,
and as always,
it's Go Pack Go.